UFC 308 has just taken place, and what a card it was. UFC 308 definitely lived up the expectations. So let's talk about it. So there was 13 fights in total. 7 wins by finish on the card. Let's start off with the main event. Elliot Topuria, Max Holloway. That's close to fucking crying my eyes out. But yeah, Elliot Topuria knocked out Max Holloway in the third round. Uh, Elliot Topuria is fighter of the year. No one even comes close. Alex Pereira, the fanboys need to get it in here. It's not even close. Topuria is clearly fighter of the year. This guy has just KO'd Volkanovski, arguably the greatest featherweight of all time, and Max Holloway, arguably second or third greatest featherweight of all time, in the space of a year. Elliot Topuria is arguably in conversation for being pound for pound number one. I'm not even joking right now. That's how good this guy is. Fight started, Max Holloway looks focused. Elliot Topuria came out looking confident as ever. Soon as the round starts, Elliot Topuria is a man of his word, and he pointed at the floor. Now, Max Holloway, he ended up like holding up like, because he calls himself El Matador. It's kind of like, you know, like what the bull fucking people do. I don't know what you call him, but you know what I mean anyway. So fight starts. Elliot Topuria done a great job in there with his leg kicks. It's just a problem Max Holloway has with his game, and he's yet to address it. Volkanovski had a lot of success with those leg kicks over their trilogy, and Elliot Topuria was having a lot of success. You could see Elliot Topuria, when he's on the front foot, is so dangerous. Now, when Max Holloway had Elliot Topuria on the back foot, that's when Max had a lot of success in there against Elliot Topuria. In my opinion, I might be biased here because I'm a big Max Holloway fan, but I thought he was winning that fight until he wasn't. But that's the thing, Elliot Topuria, when he's on the front foot, this guy is so dangerous, and you could see that he was looking to take Max Holloway's head off with that right hand. His boxing is insane. His footwork is amazing. His patience. Elliot Topuria is really the all-round package now, to be honest. Like I said in my prediction video, I thought he was going to grapple with Max Holloway. That's exactly what he done. Not as much as I thought he would have, but he did grapple with Max Holloway, taking him down. Max Holloway, again, has really good takedown defense and get-ups, and we seen that last night with Max Holloway being able to get up fairly easy. Now, round one, Elliot Topuria looked extremely confident in there. It was a close enough round, but by round two, when Max Holloway was having a lot of success, I thought Max Holloway, he was landing more than what Elliot Topuria was. The stats show that, and it was having an effect on Topuria because it seems like Topuria's face doesn't really deal well with damage, as in he bruises very easily. And we seen that again last night against Max Holloway. There was bruising coming under his eye. But as the fight got on, you could see Max was growing in confidence, and it seemed like Elliot Topuria wasn't as confident, if that makes sense. Round 3 happens, and this is just the beginning of the end. Elliot Topuria catches Max Holloway with a big right hand. We have never seen Max hurt like that before. I haven't anyway. Elliot Topuria cracked Max Holloway with a right hand, and he stayed patient in there. That's the thing with Elliot Topuria. He doesn't bomb rush in and just windmill a load of punches. He's very patient and he's very precise. He hunted Max Holloway down in there and stuck on him a big left hook, bang, put Holloway down, followed up with some ground and pound. I seen some clown on X saying it was an early stoppage. Like, does he want Max Holloway to die? Max Holloway went down, had a lot of unanswered shots in there. Even Max Holloway knew that it was over, and Elliot Topuria stops Max Holloway. We know what's going to be next for Elliot Topuria. That's going to be the Volkanovski rematch. It seems that that's the way the UFC is going to go. For Max Holloway, he spoke about 155. He said he's not going to fight until International Fight Week, which is good because the guy does need a lot of time off, in my opinion. People won't like this, but I think Max is the guy to beat Elliot at 145. I would like to see him stay there, fight another contender, maybe 2, and get back in there with Elliot. I really would. I think Max is the guy to beat him. I really, really do believe that. But he's more than likely going to go up to 155 and probably have a matchup against Dustin Poirier for the BMF title, which again is another exciting fight. Next up, co-main event. I don't even really know what to say about this because Khamzat Chimaev's just regained all of his aura. I really, at the time, if you were there for the watch along, thank you. I was really confused as to what happened. So anyway, Fight starts. Khamzat Chimaev moving around, has Whittaker on the back foot. He doesn't even set up takedowns. That's the crazy thing. The guy just shoots for the leg. No, and it was no different from any other Khamzat fight. He dives right in for the legs. He gets Robert Whittaker down. And it seems like Whittaker wanted to kind of have Khamzat on his back. He didn't want Khamzat to get in the mount or anything like that because Robert Whittaker was pretty happy trying to fight his way to the feet on his back. Now, Khamzat Chimaev wasn't as aggressive as what we've seen before when he's on the back. He looked a lot more patient in there, looking to sink in the choke. Whittaker did scramble. He got back up but got taken right back down again. Khamzat Chimaev is the best first round fighter we have ever seen in the UFC. I don't care what anybody says. This guy is easily the best first round fighter ever. Eventually then he doesn't even get the choke in. That's what made me so confused. But anyway, he locks up like a crank on Whittaker's chin, and I have never seen someone tap that fast before to like that. You know, maybe you see it with like an arm bar or a knee bar or a leg lock or Kimura, something like that. But Whittaker tapped so quick. Now, it's came out that Khamzat Chimaev, I believe, broke his chin, was it? Or popped out his jaw or something. But he fucked up Robert Whittaker in there. When have we ever seen anybody do that to Robert Whittaker? Khamzat Chimaev needs to fight for the belt next. Skip up Strickland. I don't care to see him jab and tape Dricus du Plessis again. I want DDP versus Khamzat Chimaev because I believe that DDP is the only guy that can beat Khamzat at middleweight. I'm being deadly serious here. That's the fight we need. Skip up Strickland DDP 2. I don't give a shit. I need to see Khamzat fight for the belt. He took no damage. Get him in there in February. UFC 312, the main event. DDP, Khamzat Chimaev. Make it happen. That's all I've got to say on that. Robert Whittaker's going to need a lot of time off. I don't know if Whittaker will ever be the same after that, to be honest. Yeah, fuck. The co-main and main, how fucking heartbreaking. Anyway, Magomed Ankalaev, Alexander Rakic. Magomed Ankalaev isn't as boring as what people make him out to be. Now, was this fight the most entertaining? Obviously not. But Ankalaev wasn't the one that made it boring. Ankalaev was pushing the pace. People always going about he's going to out-grapple Pereira. People get on like he's like a Khabib Nurmagomedov type fighter. He's not. The guy's a striker. He's very accurate with that left hand. He's a southpaw. His forward pressure is incredible. His boxing is great. This guy is a striker. So, I don't get why everyone's like, he's just going to out-grapple Pereira. That might be what he does in there against Pereira. But you can't say he's boring, he's a grappler. The guy just stood and had a striking matchup with Alexander Rakic, who's extremely technical and extremely dangerous. Now, I kind of thought Ankalaev won every single round. I thought the first round was close, could have went either way, to be honest. But I just thought because it was in Abu Dhabi, they would have given it to Magomed Ankalaev. But they didn't. They gave it to Rakic. All three judges scored it the same. Ankalaev has to fight for the belt next. I mean, the guy's on an 11-fight win streak now, I believe, in the light heavyweight division. He just beat Rakic, who's ranked number 5. Before that, he knocked out Johnny Walker. It's like, what else does this guy have to do? Really, there's no one else in the light heavyweight division Pereira should be facing. It has to be Ankalaev. Make that fight next. What's for Rakic? I think you do him Khalil Rountree next. That's just me. Lerone Murphy, Dan Ige. Lerone Murphy's kind of like the generic UK fighter now. Like him and Leon Edwards kind of remind me kind of the same. They're just good everywhere. They're really well rounded now. The guys come out of the UK. Lerone Murphy was dropped by Dan Ige round 1. Dan Ige dropped Lerone Murphy with a big left hand. I thought Dan Ige might have got the finish there, but Lerone Murphy done a good job in staying in the fight. A lot of people were saying Dan Ige won this matchup. For me, it was 2 rounds to 1 in favour of Lerone Murphy, and the third round is what it really came down to. Yes, Dan Ige dropped Lerone Murphy. Lerone Murphy did cut Dan Ige up, but in the third round, Dan Ige was winning the opening exchanges with the grappling, but he didn't do anything with the grappling in terms of submissions, ground and pound, landing big shots. He didn't really do anything. And in the later half of that round, Lerone Murphy kind of took over, started grappling, landing the bigger shots, threatening with submissions. I think the right man won here in Lerone Murphy. What's next for him? He has to have a jump up in competition. He called out Josh Emmett, which is a scary call out after Dan Ige dropped him. but one that I think makes sense. Lerone Murphy should be fighting Josh Emmett next. And finally, to round off the main card, Sharaput Magomedov versus Armen Petrosyan. Armen Petrosyan hurt Sharon Magomedov early in that fight. I don't think Sharon Magomedov is going to go to the top, to be honest. I don't even know if he makes it into the top 15 in the middleweight division. Genuinely don't think so. But his knockout was incredible. A double spinning back fist. When the hell have we ever seen that? Now, a lot of people said in my live chat that it was stopped early. It wasn't, because Petrosyan wasn't out cold, but the way he hit the mat and like kind of like fucking tweaked out, like covered up, and yeah, he just wasn't in a good headspace really. He was hurt, he didn't know where he was, and Sharon Magomedov was going to blast him with big shots that Armen Petrosyan just didn't need to take. I thought it was a good stoppage. I'm going to make a video on matchups that I think should be made next. That's going to be going up tomorrow, so make sure you stay tuned for that. Overall, let's just talk about the prelims quickly. Ibo Aslan got a good first round finish in there for Turkey. Shout out. Jeff Neal beat RDA. It was a very weird matchup. RDA hurt his knee, leg. It was weird. Rebecca versus Orobai, fight of the year. That was one of the best fights we've seen. And it wasn't just all out striking action. There was grappling involved in it. But it was just such a great matchup. Two dogs in there. What a fight. I was kind of unsure on who I thought would have won it. Orobai's eye was just fucked. But what a fight that was. That, honestly, I think it's going to be hard to beat that for fight of the year. Abbas Magomedov beating Bruno Ferreira. Abbas Magomedov starts off the fight as he always does. Round one, he's just like one of the best first round fighters we've seen. He put it on Sean Strickland in round one, but he still fades. Bruno Ferreira was trying to land that spinning elbow countless times. Good win for a bus though, he needed that. Kennedy Nzechukwu beat Chris Barnett. Someone on MMA Guru's video said MMA Guru is Chris Barnett is MMA Guru in blackface, and that's the best comment I've ever seen. That's fucking hilarious. Chris Barnett, he's just not good. Cut him. Kennedy Nzechukwu with not a big win. Chris Barnett's a pretty decent sized name anyway. Good way to start off your heavyweight career. Basharat versus Hugo. Okay. Bruno Silva's just not the same fighter anymore. And Rinat Fakretnov versus Carlos Leal. I didn't see this fight. I was working. A lot of people said it was a robbery, but let me know your opinions in the comments below. Overall, UFC 308. What a great card. Let's have more cards like that at that time for the UK as well. That was fucking perfect. And as always, let me know what you think in the comments below. Like, share, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. And I will see you all again in the next one.